Welcome back to the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters here in Dallas, Texas. 2019 is the year, and you are in exactly the right place that you want to be in. It's Fnatic taking on Furia. We're going to be jumping in that last best of 3 before you know it, but let me remind you how big this state is. We're talking 696,241 square kilometers.
Thank you very much for the kilometers.
That is large, ladies and gentlemen, just like the implications of this matchup. All very big indeed. Fnatic and Furia ready to go at it in a best of 3, and so am I. My name is Trace Taranthus. I have been your desk host, and well, guess what? Now it's not any different. But I have changed over to some of the guys with the gift of the gab. That would be Jacob, Pimp, Vinicky, and of course, Maniac. Now I would go for the last name. We already know how that goes, so we'll just keep it simple, keep it Barney style.
It's all right. Well, I'm glad with it. You can just call me Maniac.
Okay.
It is what it is.
It is how it is.
We're going to take a look at the groups real quick. And Jacob, I kind of want you to kind of run us through this group as it's been, because just to get Fnatic and Furia into a bracket here against each other, there has to have been some major developments.
Yeah, I mean, Furia, they were beating NRG yesterday in a pretty convincing fashion, 16-7. I don't think many people would have expected that, not in that fashion at least. I think a lot of people expected it to be a close game. We know NRG currently are not playing their best Counter-Strike, but Furia being able to beat them with such a convincing scoreline was a bit of a surprise to me, whereas for Fnatic beating Cloud9, not really much to say there. Cloud9 is not a team to be reckoned with right now. They're not playing great Counter-Strike, and Fnatic is in a good streak.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the loss of energy against Furia was really hard to see coming, because energy is an unknown quantity. I think sometimes they show a good face, sometimes not. And coming to this game, Furia as well, I don't really know them that much. I'm very excited to getting to see them, getting to know them, and watch them play in that tournament here. But yeah, surprising semifinal. I think that's a fair assessment.
I mean, they're just down the hall. You could really
just go over
there and say, hey, what we could also do is look at Group A. We have a whole other group to this, and I think we kind of need to catch everyone up to speed. There's another stream, but don't worry. You're in the right place, tuning in at right the exact time you need to be. This group has developed in a way that gives us Liquid versus FaZe for a spot either in the quarters or the semis. Now that's a big time matchup, but in the meantime, we have to look through the lower brackets.
Yeah, what we can see here is that Vitality have already kind of secured themselves that position, the decider match, winning 2-0 against NIP. But don't get me wrong, the second map wasn't easy at all, even though Peter was playing here, and actually he got almost 20 frags, I think, for standing. I think we should give him a heads up for that. And on the other side of the bracket, we are winning on North versus Windigo. Whoever wins that game is going to challenge Vitality. I would give Windigo an edge. I mean North. The way he looked at me, I realized I said the wrong name. I would give North an edge against Windigo. Yeah.
First of all, they're Danes. You already upset him with that one. Secondly, yes, it was a little bit of a word slip, but there are no word slips involved when it is someone's special day. And in fact, today is the 29th of May. I had to double check for myself because it's a very special day for young Christopher Get Right Allerson. And we actually got him a little something down there on the sidelines with Frankie.
Apex also stacked on top of this. There's no way forward. Get Right with 1. M4 in hand, looking for the spray. They're both so low. USP's gonna have to come out. Oh, Get Right! What a play! Is there enough time, though, for the veteran to defuse? It's gonna be so close, and the answers are no. Nice try.
Oh, I know it's not not the nicest time, but we still wanted to give it to you. Saving all day, so you can kind of see the blue stuff has kind of disappeared a little bit.
What is it supposed to say?
Happy birthday, Get Right.
This cake is filled with alcohol, and you should eat it / drink it immediately.
Oh, can I?
You can eat it alone. You can also eat it with your teammates. And yeah, so that's for you.
Or you can cake one of them.
Oh, that's it.
This is also for you. You can decide to open it now, or you can save it for later.
Why not? I can open it now. I mean, it sounded like I should open it later, but
it's up to you. It's nothing big.
It's nothing big. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, mate.
Well, it was not the ending that I wanted, but still. Damn, I was so shoving it. But still, that was a good memory, though. Thank you so much, Mark. And say hi to everyone from the
Wow, that picture was a throwback and a half. I thought there was going to be tickets to like Six Flags in there or something, but hey, that
You
would
would like that, wouldn't you?
No, I'm good. I'm good on Six Flags for at least the next couple of years. Nonetheless, happy birthday to Get Right, and a happy day here it is for the other side, the teams that are still going to be playing in this tournament right now. We need to take a look at the vetoes, guys. We need to jump in this best of 3 with a quickness. We had some delays earlier, but don't worry. We're going to catch right back up. Fnatic and Furia, 3 maps. Where are we going?
I think this is where it's going to be interesting, right? Because I think Furia have a pretty good chance of at least getting one map coming in against Fnatic. They have a sick win rate on Nuke right now. They're 100% the past 3 months.
15 games.
15 games. Arguably not against the best teams in the world, but still, if you're winning 15 games in a row on a map, you're pretty good on it. Same is the case for Overpass. They have an 80% win rate on that map, and both maps Fnatic are not really comfortable on. So Furia have a good chance of at least picking one they should be able to win.
Yes, definitely. Now, when it comes to the first veto wave, I think Fnatic have no choice but to remove Vertigo. Otherwise, Furia is going to jump on it. So either the Swedes have that ready or they're going to get punished. So they should remove it. And Dust 2, exactly. Dust 2 is an insta. I think it's the natural ban for Furia. It's also a very good map for Fnatic. It makes sense. And I agree with Jacob. I think Furia is, or they have positioned themselves as a tactical team, which means the tactical maps, the Overpass, the Nuke, Train, arguably, they can play them. So they have a lot of, like a wide range of maps they can pick against Fnatic. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to go. I think they have the freedom. That's a good position for them to be in. On the side of Fnatic, you are looking at I think Mirage is on the cards. Train, possibly. Yeah, Mirage is here. Sometimes we do say things that make sense. You know, it happens. So let's enjoy it while it lasts.
True.
Now, Furia removing Nuke, to me, that is an interesting thing. Like, they remove Nuke, and that's what you were just saying. They won it 15 times, but maybe not against the best opponents. They realize their own limits on the map.
The fact that they picked Nuke right here, that's a confidence pick for them. They won it 15 times in a row. They feel comfortable, even though they're playing against a team of Fnatic caliber. It's not like Fnatic is a bad Nuke team, but they're not a team to be to be reckoned with on a map like Nuke. Definitely, they have a big chance of getting that one. The last one is gonna be Inferno.
Inferno.
As always.
That is Inferno. It is
Inferno.
actually decided that it is the best map in best of 3s to kind of bring the whole series together.
Who decided that?
I don't know, really.
just
I
did.
have to kind of look through the history books, the Wikipedia books, whatever else we got around here. But yeah, we got our maps, so we're already headed in the right direction. Mirage, Nuke, Inferno, guys. We can begin to talk about these teams as a whole, and I think it's a good point to start with Furia. This team's been making some waves. They have been kind of turning some heads, and it's kind of getting them to a point now within the brackets. They can really capitalize on these successes.
I mean, I think it's very impressive to see the involvement Furia have been going through, or the improvements they made as a lineup. We saw them first time in the minor and in the major doing pretty goddamn good for themselves. Nobody expected them to go through that NA minor, but they did. There was also some rumors surrounding CORSAIR. He was about to join MIBR, and I personally thought when I heard that rumor and it wasn't going through, this is going to be a tough task for him. If I were a player and I was this close to joining MIBR, which have to be considered the biggest and best brand within Counter-Strike in the Brazilian region, then I would be a little bit demotivated. I would be a little bit disappointed that I wasn't allowed to go there. But he's just been playing hearts out ever since anyway. So a big character on that team, and I think he's a player you have to look out for in this matchup.
Yes, CORSAIR. There's all this speculation about, what could have happened, this, that, and the other. That's the past. And that's just the way it all unfolded. Right now, it seems like he's got a pretty good seat here within Furia. One player I kind of want to highlight, as I was talking to a friend of mine within the professional scene, one of the players.
As if you have friends.
Yeah, I know. It's a pretty short list. But the point is, one of the players to look out here would be Furia. This guy is really turning some heads, and not to be in the shadow of CORSAIR, but he's definitely doing enough.
I mean, listen, his stats are absolutely lights out and crazy. Now, once again, we have to take into account who they are playing against on the general time, but that is still very impressive of him. I'm looking forward to see what he can do against the better opposition. Obviously, Fnatic, a different kind of caliber and type of opponent. I just think that Furia is in a great place right now, which is basically they're going upwards. Every tournament they go to, they have better expectations. They grab more experience here, obviously, on the big stage. 16 teams tournament. Some of the best teams in the world are here. So I hope that they make the best out of it, and that every tournament they go to, they get a little bit better. And it's a nice place to be when you're a player in that condition.
What about that team? It's just this other team, Fnatic. Oh, yeah, that's their name. Yeah, these guys aren't going to go down without a fight at all. That's something we have to take into consideration here. Furia, having barreled their way through the brackets, now get to face up against these 5 gentlemen and the young one in Brolin. Let's begin to talk about this team of Fnatic.
I said it once and I'm going to say it again. I think this lineup has a lot of potential. Really, when you look at those names and what what they're capable of, this is a team that can constantly improve, constantly evolve, and I think this is a team that potentially by the end of this year will have won a lot of tournaments. Crims, we don't give him enough credit. He's so good at what he does. Arguably one of the best rifles in the world, especially in some of the positions he's play. For an example, on Mirage, we're going to see it today, connection. He is the king of that area. Nobody's going to get past him. JW, for a matter, I wouldn't say he's back to his old self, back to his old level where he's flash out, you know, doing all these, I would say, stupid JW plays, but he's up there and he's doing it more and more and more, and he's successful with it. Then you have Exist, the in-game leader, coming in, and finally it seems like he's been able to put his hand on this team and form them just a little bit. You have Brolan, you have Twist, there's so much potential in it.
You know, there definitely is. Now, the problem about JW is that it is a story of hit and miss at the moment. And when it's hit, then the impact he's having on the game is monstrous. As you say, he's very courageous. Sometimes you can say a different word for that. But when he takes over the game and he just takes all the risk and it's working for them, then Fnatic have a really good time. Now, this guy on the screen, Brolan, I'm not gonna lie, a few months ago I was doubting him a little bit, but now he really seemed to have come on his own. He has become a new type of player, and it's so impressive for his own age.
And it's crazy that you say that, because he's actually part of our head-to-head, brought to you, of course, by X-Men Dark Phoenix, in theaters on June 7th. That's where you want to be if you're into the X-Men lore, but here we've got a head-to-head for you between two heavy hitters on both sides.
Brolan in particular have been very impressive. As said, he's very young. He's already tried a lot in his career. He's been in plenty of finals. He's had many different and difficult losses. One that comes into mind was the one at Chicago last year, where they played Astralis in the semifinal. I believe they're up 15-9 on the third map, being Inferno. Astralis makes a comeback. They send him out of the tournament. You can see Brolan, he was almost crying, but he has learned a lot from that, and he's getting more and more experienced.
I got to shut you both down right now. I need it real fast. You hit one sentence, who's going to win this game?
Fnatic 2-1.
Okay, that's not really a sentence, but we'll take it. It's acceptable. So we got a Fnatic pick out for the side of Maniac. Pimp, what do you got?
I think it's going to be very close. I'm going to say Furia just for the fun of it.
Furia for the fun of it. Okay, well, I'm going to also say...
Do it. You have to be quick, huh?
You know it.
I tried to be quick, but I couldn't think that fast. Furia. I think they're turning heads right now, and I think Fnatic is not going to be ready for some of the things that they have to throw to them. One thing that I have to throw to, though, will be our commentators. We've actually switched them out. We brought in some new, fresh faces. These guys ready to get in the den, ready to get it done. We do have Henry G and Sadek.
I hope you're ready. I just turned up on the street. He literally said we pulled in new commentators, fresh faces. I was walking down the sidewalk. What am I doing here?
You've got to talk about a computer game in an exciting manner and deliver a narrative that only you can describe and kind of bring everyone up to speed of what's going on.
Did you say computer game?
Yes.
Why would you watch instead of play?
Well, exactly. That's what we're going to try and describe to everyone.
Come on, let's get with it. It's 2019. Why would you watch anything else?
Exactly. We have got quite a good game here. On paper, it might not sound that tantalizing, but the performance Furia pitting against NRG, winning 16-7 on Overpass, actually set the scene. They've been doing their homework. They've got some hard-hitting players in this squad. Sure, Fnatic likely to win. I agree with the sentiment of being Fnatic 2-1, but I feel like they're going to be great games here.
Yeah, it should be. I agree with Stunna, his closing thought. They've been turning a lot of heads, Furia. That's certainly true since they qualified for the major. They came through the online portion of the qualifier to the minor, through the minor, made it into the major. Did decently there. Certainly there was a lot of, I would say, overhype and excitement, perhaps more than overhype, for them at that event. Certainly Neymar brought a lot to that by being involved on social media, and that brings a lot of attention naturally to a CS team. But yeah, they're not quite there yet for me to be a consistent performer within the top 10, top 15 teams. Top 15 they can sneak into depending on what they attend. Remember, these guys turned down a Pro League spot to stay with DreamHack and play in Rio. That was a decision that they made based on what they said was honor and loyalty. Some people suggested perhaps also sponsorship obligations. But the fact of the matter is, it does mean that they sacrificed a chance to prove themselves more regularly with the top teams. So when they get opportunities like this at a Masters, not just a DreamHack Open, a Masters, they have to seize it.
Absolutely, and I feel like they've got to the point now, especially after the result yesterday, the teams are going to take them really seriously. They know they're going to be dangerous, they're going to be difficult to play against, and they have a different play style, certainly to the Europeans. So Fnatic has got their work cut out for them, and we might do as well. We've got a small break we have to take away to sort out the server issues, and we'll be back very shortly. So we'll see you there for Fnatic versus Furia.
The server has been fixed. Our meteorologist, Henry, tells me it's actually looking good for server conditions.
The server conditions have come through. It's looking dry. It's looking crisp. It's all ready to go. We're to kick things off for Mirage.
There's the Furia boys looking to cause a bit of an upset here. They'll be going in as the underdogs, but they're starting as the CT side. This will be Fnatic's pick. We'll have a look at the pistol buy as it comes through. This is our upper bracket semi-final. So no one will go home, but a team can progress towards the upper bracket finals. So that's always a very exciting place to be. Try and book yourself a place in those playoffs tomorrow. We'll see how map 1 goes down. We have got Glocks across the board. Force it to Kevlar for Fnatic. They'll one smoke, couple of flashes. They send big numbers toward the B bomb site here. Crim's waiting in T-spawn. He's got the utility, that smoke and flashbang, currently lining it up for middle. Art, on the other hand, he'll be exploring his options towards top and middle, trying to get some intel. And the bomb's still down in B apartments, so they're going to show their hand towards underpass and try and get some control of this area. The smoke down towards the window. We'll see if this works out for them. It's a great shot from Art. He's going to need a lot more where that came from, though. He does manage to get the second. He's done big damage to the others as well. This is looking like a perfect round for Furia.
So far, so good. Art still waiting at the top side of the boxes as they get trapped in middle. Every angle covered off. We're going to have a knife battle down below. In fact, Twist will get CORSAIR. A little bit more money for him. They'll laugh it off because they win the round. And importantly, take the momentum. A bit awkward, I have to say, how quickly that transpired at the bottom of middle for poor old Fnatic.
I feel like the idea was there. Crims will get set up the window smoke. He's going to flash them in. They'll get mid control, push CTs back, and then Crims will go get the bomb through T-spawn towards those B apartments, and they'd go up short. That looked like the objective, but Art's position towards top middle, they didn't see it coming. It all falls apart very quickly, and with the knife there, you would think maybe there'd be a chance of an investment here, especially with Twist with that extra $1,500, but just Eagles. No armor, no nades. Rumbu's coming through, trying to find that first player, somehow taking no damage. Rumbu's very successful, but I don't think it'll get him much further. It's going to be Broland to go down. Dinks towards Yuri. But at this stage, it should be a clean finish. Maybe not. Crims does steal one back, but remember, they have no armor here, so they're going to be very squishy indeed. As Furia go through the motions now, it's going to be a clean finish. They only give one player up at the looks of things, and the AKs will come out next. Remember, Twist can actually buy the AWP map with that knife kill he got.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does certainly have benefits early on at this portion of the game.
Hasn't gone for it. With the Deagle investment, wouldn't be able to get armor, so just going to stick with the AK and all the equipment to go with it. Furia, you might see an aggressive round for them here, considering they've got those residual UMPs and MP9s there, CORSAIR and Vinny using those. Vinny does go towards top and middle, so he is exploring his options at least. Nades coming through, smoke down towards the top, and he's just going to wait, see if he can get a kill towards that top and mid position. He's going to be backed up from Art. Flashbang's coming through, can't overly commit with that UMP, no damage done, but he does follow it up with a bit of backup there. Here's to be Broland to go down. JW will respond in due course. We'll see if this is going to be enough for Fnatic on the board. Maybe not. It's going to be a 3 versus 4 right now as they try and fall back and slow the round down.
Twist. It's going to wait it out. See exactly. They'll re-peek toward middle, bomb down toward Horseshoe. He'll head back in that direction to gather it for Fnatic, who find themselves down a man early on, but with a little bit of control, which actually they'll relinquish. Exist doesn't want to work connector as of yet. Certainly, he could try and work in conjunction with Crims, who's already inside of A main, but instead they'll just take the site directly.
They've slowed this right down now. Getting to the 40-second mark, they have one smoke, and where would they like to use it? CT spawn seems the most logical option for them. It'll be Crims with the only utility. He's got the smoke and the 2 flashbangs there. He's currently set up the A ramp. They really need an opening pick here. Remember, they came in with greater firepower than Furia. Currently in a disadvantage. Smoke going down on the side itself. Gotta try and sneak the bomb through if they can. Damage done towards Able J as the bomb will be planted here, but can they get it down cleanly? It looks like they absolutely can. All of a sudden, Fnatic's chances have improved.
Crims. Work back in, smoke dissipates, bomb sits in the open, but far too open for the CTs to try and dare attack at this point because Exist has CT covered off, and Crims was watching from Sandwich to make sure no one could push over top of the stairs. Twist even falls back to A main. They've got all the dwellings covered off. Here he's got nowhere to go as he tries desperately to at least get an exit. He'll find Exist, but Fnatic get their first round. We go 2-1. Here he gets away with an M4. Bit of money still left over. Vinny's got 4,300. That'll increase now, 5,700. 4,750 for Art. They'll have an op available between one of the two of those players, and they'll be able to buy in the others, depending on whether or not they go for the op or want to drop.
Yeah, it's not the worst situation for Furia, considering they had SMGs in the previous round, but a nice comeback from Fnatic. That round looked difficult for them. That one smoke paid dividends towards the A side, managing to sneak the bomb through. As soon as that got planted, it looked much better for them. Fnatic still with the 5 AKs, but the AWP has come out. It's in the hands of Art. Watch out for him. He's quick. Not fast enough for the smoke, though. It will be Yuri, who's got crazy stats this year, looking to cause some damage towards middle. Actually takes a lot of it, down to 12 points of health. Art will have vision, but the T's have already crossed over towards our mid box, and their default. It's going swimmingly so far. Going towards that underpass area, but a steal from Vinny. He'll take down Twist and actually fall back safely as well. So all of a sudden, it's Furia with the advantage. Fnatic looking for any points of access at this point.
Art with the op, not finding anyone yet. It's going to be very patient toward connector. Very A-biased from the default of Furia. I do say that with the fact that Yuri can rotate back over very quickly toward the B site, very quickly to support CORSAIR, who's left alone with an MP9 of all weapons. So it could get very pear-shaped quickly inside of B. Doesn't seem like it's going that direction. Even with the early rotation from Yuri, it's back over toward A. Art still waiting, catches out Brolan inside of the smoke. Timed it to perfection. Molotov and Shadow clears the angle. Art trying again for the same thing, but little does he know, a player's gotten behind. Crims gets the kill. JW remains undetected. I say that as he slips back to the site. It's the rotation of the low HP that finds him. Yuri with the kill. 3-1 Furia.
Yeah, Furia feeling it right now. They're willing to take the duels, and that's a brave statement considering you're up against Fnatic, some of the scariest riflers in the game. Pushing off short, Vinny able to take down one. And at that point, Art's AWP, close range through smoke, fearless, as he manages to win out the round for them. That's going to be an eco for Fnatic now. We're going to have just Eagles, pretty much nothing else. Brolan, the only player of armor, he has been dropped straight away. Yuri really wants to find these early frags. He's going to get one, but takes damage for it. He'll fall back, though, however. And it's Vinny, once again, same angle towards short. Takes a bullet to the head, though. That'll take him down to 29. Twist will get one in return. Remember, these guys got no armor. So very vulnerable to those grenades, and especially bullets. But Furia, they've done enough. Got to fall back, take their foot off the gas somewhat, as Crims shows presence towards A, gets nothing for it.
Furia and Exist come to blows, but it's Furia with the advantage, and doubly so. Twist walks back out toward mid, Deagle in hand, hoping desperately someone will give themselves up. He has the bomb, not near the site. Crims is working in, but really not much to work with. J couldn't find the shot, but just brings Yuri back in. He's off to a good start. 3 kills this round in particular, but I think he's leading the way, if not near about. 6 kills, 8, I think, for Art. Okay, so he's at the top.
Yeah, he does go down. Twist recovers the AWP. Now, does he want to save that? 35 seconds there, 4 versus 1. Probably not worth going for it. He has got enough cash to buy up armor, grenades next round, so yeah, definitely should be saving this. It's a nice pickup. The first time Fnatic will have it in the next gun round, but Furia still win the round. Was an eco, as we pointed out, just one player in the form of Brolan who invested in any sort of Kevlar. But Furia really on their feet here. You can see that aggressive playstyle coming out each and every round. They're ready to take those fights, and I'm sure they'll keep it up until it starts going wrong for them. Only round they've given up so far was their quote-unquote bonus round with the UMP, the MP9. So gun rounds so far have been very strong for them.
Well, and you talk about bonus, CORSAIR's still rocking the MP9 now.
Yep.
He's 1 and 2, he's gotten 2 deaths, but over at B with an MP9, they haven't even put pressure on him to exploit that.
Exactly. He's absolutely fine with that until it starts becoming an issue. You can drop the AWP in there every few rounds to show a bit more defense levels in that part of the map. But overall, that should be fine. Good for at least 1 kill, I would say, if you play it correctly. As we get into round number 6 here, I think we have a small pause. Looks to be technical considering the boys aren't chatting too much. If you're not aware, DreamHack coaches are allowed to talk in freeze time, so we don't see quite as many pauses come through. But when they're technical ones like this, you're not allowed to chat whatsoever. So there's exists a bit of an old school approach there with the old flannel, getting the sweat off.
Yep. It's clearly not an issue here to have a hand warmer. It's the opposite. You want to dry the hand off. Especially, I find the texture of mouse actually makes a difference if you have sweaty hands, but he's using a shiny, very
glossy one.
Yeah, glossy texture. I prefer a more matted or rubberized matted mouse.
Yeah, they don't do enough rubber on mice these days. The fact that you can have rubber pads on them just to help out, that would really help.
On the bottom, sure, but on the top as well. They used to have like that finish, sort of a coating, if you will.
You used to be able to buy these extra, I'm not sure they make them anymore. You could buy these little kind of cloth cutouts you could put on the mouse, and they would kind of provide extra grip and absorb the sweat. That was pretty cool.
Sounds like you definitely want to change those out after a while.
Yeah, you do after about 6 months. They get a bit grimy.
But still, nonetheless, it is a good idea. Touches everything.
Still sun. I'm going to check this out.
There is a reasonable question about, and people have asked this in the past as well, why don't people wear a mouse hand glove?
That used to be a thing back in the day as well.
You could do Michael Jackson, just do like cutouts on the fingers.
Yeah, no, that's what they did. I won't say the company, but there was one that created the gaming glove in around 2005, I think it was. They had it on sale for about 2 years. And if you ever saw anyone at a LAN with it, they kind of got a bit of a hazing.
Them, sure.
Yeah,
it was like when I wore T-blades in hockey, but I could still skate faster than everyone. So
you know what I mean?
whatever.
Like, it might have helped, but you didn't want to be seen wearing that.
Yeah. It's, I can understand that. Or the guy who still wears a cage when you're playing junior.
Yeah, exactly.
You intentionally bash his head into the boards twice as hard because you're like, well, you got the bird cage on, you'll be fine, bud.
Oh, it's a couple of opening picks here. Furia looks solid. Remember, they took down NRG yesterday. Not in a close game. They didn't steal it away. It was a 16-7 scoreline on Overpass, which is not maybe so much anymore with Tarek joining the ranks, but that used to be NRG's absolute best map. They are no strangers to it. And this is convincing so far. Fnatic look like they're asleep. Furia is running all over them. As we get into round number 7, that orb did nothing. Save in the previous round, and the loss bonus, sure, it's there. It's the 4th stage, but that's only $2,900 per player. With no bomb plants, they are going to have to take another partial buy here. Twist has a bit more cash than his teammates, considering he saved the orb. So he'll get some extra grenades, some bits and pieces as they head over towards the B site. I expect a window smoke, pillar smoke, splashes over, Molotov van. See if they can get through as they wait for the initial exchange of grenades to come. But you can see it's almost agonizing when you smoke after smoke. You're waiting for your chances. Here's the smokes that I described. We'll have a look as to exactly how they go down. There's the window smoke, pillar smoke on the left and right, Molotov towards the van, and in we go. It's quite disjointed though, man. It doesn't look like this will do much for them, but there is a pick from Twist. Smokes, you can see, actually doing a great job of segregating the CT defense, and they can't really justify pushing through. Fnatic have actually got a pretty decent chance of winning this now with the bomb going down. Pressure now applied to the CTs, especially at this point, with Vinny being dropped.
Hold it for Crims. At the pillar, play protection. Try and get that pistol more relevant when they get closer. JW actually switches into that angle. He's got the range. He can catch them off when they try to enter towards Quad Twist. Fully flashed. Great entrance from Furia, and he goes down, but Crims is still in this. He's got a smoke to dance with as well, and Able J, he's into a one-on-one. He's got a kit, but he's running very low on time, and Exist just has to bait him away from the bomb. He's done it. Fnatic will find their second. They might go down, but Able J may as well. Oh, 1 HP.
Okay, I see it. He's got 3 kills. He survived on 1 HP. He saves the AK. And the fact he has $8,000 means he can drop the orb straight over. So that does actually help him out quite a lot that he survives. Keeps the money strong on the CT side. They should be pretty much fully invested, but they'll have everything they need in this round with maybe $1,000 or so left over. We'll see how much they've got. Vinny was 0. Euro and Queserato, yeah, indeed, about $1,500. As Fnatic head towards middle once again. Early days here. Furia looks fantastic, but Fnatic can still come back and rock their world. We'll see if they're capable. As they hold up now, this is a very passive default here. You can see no presence at all towards middle just yet, waiting for CT aggression, which has been prevalent so far. So it makes sense. Plenty of time here. Let the CTs present their hand first. Means you're going to have to deploy a little bit of utility here just to get the mid control. You're going to need a smoke down, which is deployed towards window. You'll need the flashbang as well to push anyone back connector. Both of those things come through. Your Molotov connector afterwards just to flush it out, and then you'll get there. There's a Molotov. And then you'll smoke it just after that on the CT side, just so you can get full control and confirm no one will be in that position. So far, so good from Fnatic. Very cookie-cutter style round. But still waiting to get towards that connector. They have at least established their presence towards middle.
Good detection. Audible cue from Vinny as he looks away from the flash but couldn't do any damage in return. In fact, he is forced back toward B. CORSAIR on a much significant improvement over the MP9. Now has the AUG. Yuri gets taken down, though they give up CPL. They're able to take the position by Broland getting a trade kill immediately. In fact, with Yuri getting one, and only one. Mid is open, but they haven't done anything about utility for Art as he gets on top of the ticket booth. Abel J standing out in front of A main, looks back to find Crimson Palace. Wouldn't have detected him to be so far up, and they can't do anything of him. Look toward Art with 8 seconds left, and he's got the kill. Shut down by both the angles on A.
Yeah, they've got in their heads now. You can see Fnatic waiting for a good 30, 40 seconds, trying to see if that aggression was coming. It didn't at all. They were unable to really find any significant picks. Every time they got one, it'd be answered back straight away. If I'm Furia right now, you know that money's low. This is when I'm doing the aggressive run. I'm going to keep showing my hand towards that part of the map. We'll see if they feel inclined that way too. Art's going to jump out at least and try and beat the smokes. He's done that. He'll have a slight gap to his left. We'll see if he can do anything with this.
I don't think there is. I think the way it's thrown, there's not a gap, so that's why he didn't want to re-peek it. He actually sat back.
Yeah. Normally you have a gap there, so it's good to see that's all covered up.
Yeah, that is a good point. A lot of people don't think much of that gap, and then the Operas rip them for it. Seems like one of those things that just requires a little bit of homework. Simple fix.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice shot.
That is an incredible shot. How does he hit that twice? He's firing at pixels above that half wall.
Yeah, that's super sick. A lot of talk about Art at this tournament. Yuri's got the best stats coming into it for the team, but Art's certainly no stranger as well. Wait till CORSAIR wakes up with that rifle. It's going to be a bit of a problem here for Fnatic. Not making much of a dent on the rounds they're losing.
Keep in mind, this is, yeah, okay, sure, as Stunner stood on the desk, it's a team on the rise in Furia. It's a team on the rise in Fnatic, and I know that sounds odd considering their legacy, but they were in the finals in China. They had an incredible series with NiP in Sydney. Maybe now that we're back on the other side of the world, things are not looking so up after all, but don't rule them out of the series just yet. They certainly, I think, are going to win a title. Another, I won't say significant title, but a title worthy of achievement this year. They've got the potential there.
I'm not against it at all. I feel like they're a team that's gone under the radar since the major, but they've obviously been working hard. They've been evolving their game, and they've turned up here, and they're looking sharp as hell. Remember, it's Fnatic that picked Mirage here. We're going to Nuke next, and that's a very technical map. If Furia present this level of play, Fnatic could be in trouble with a 2-0. Here's Art once again. Look at the play coming through. So confident. It's the AWP shot up close towards the underpass. Yuri with a covering fire. He'll take down 2. No damage done on the T side whatsoever. They are struggling. They don't know how to handle this. They need a timeout right now to discuss what the hell's going on. Why can they not contain 2 players pushing middle?
And I don't know why they continue to go middle. I think a lot of teams on Mirage seem to think it's the end-all be-all, and I understand it's super important. Yeah. It opens up options, but every now and then you've got to create space by going B or going A, attacking it with speed, trying to force the defense to be uncomfortable. If you just present the same default every time, they're just going to find different ways to pick you apart.
And the thing is as well, as I mentioned, Furia keep doing this successfully. It's just going to slow Fnatic down. On the rounds they're not pushing, it's wasting, what, 40 seconds? They're really inside their heads right now. They're not sure how to contain this at all. Another partial buy required, and I think this is probably the best call. Let's just do a set piece towards A. Let's at least get a bomb down. Let's get a post-plant situation going. See if we can steal some kills away with the CZs. Unless you get the entry, it's difficult to snowball off it, but JW, he will at least find one. They'll have a little cuddle in the smoke here. JW, if he gets this kill, there is a certain chance of winning the round, but it's not going to happen. Twist with the Deagle at least, but it doesn't look good for Fnatic in any facet, as it will be another round of Furia, convincing one with 3 players surviving. That's absolutely fine. You're up against a CZ, the armor, the full execution. You're likely to lose a few kills. It's not a big deal. As their money is absolutely fine, as this is turning into a very quick half. It's 9-2, round 12. All power for Twist this time. I can't really say I imagine Fnatic got many kills at all. Twisted at the top with 5 and 9. At the bottom is Brolan, 1 and 11. That's really bad news. If he gets caught up in a bad place going into map number 2, this could be a quick one. Furia is not letting him have any access to the game whatsoever. Exists 4, Crims 4, JW 3. And we're going into round 12. This is strange. Now, that's what I want to see, the AWP being moved around. He's shown so much presence towards jungle, connector, window. And now for the first time they place him in B, just when Fnatic might be considering adjustments towards that side of the map. This is beautiful CS from Furia. They're calling a great game. They've done their homework, but Twist, he hits a beautiful shot. Is that the cue to commit? Do run the risk of maybe overthinking situations, but it looks like Fnatic might have done enough here. 4 versus 3 in their favor. 3 players towards the B apartment. And they have 1 and the former JW towards connector watching for the rotations.
So again, not much forward ground for Fnatic, but JW this time doesn't have a lot toward A. He's inside a connector and the man advantage is the substantial factor. Rotation, and they have to clear every angle on the way back over, so they want to play this with a bit more A presence, given that AbleJ's gone so far back inside of the site. He's not yet spotted anyone, but the bomb is surely making its direction known through T-spawn. Known to us, that is. The privileged bunch that we are spectating.
Exactly. It's going to be Fnatic. This is what I was afraid of, Matt. The fact they potentially overthink this situation and run the clock down so low, you're in danger now. If they deny this plant, you could be in a world of pain, and there are players waiting on the other side. They're not going to check this position. In fact, they will. I take it all back. Bomb will be planted. Looks like it's crisis averted there, Fnatic. Great job on entering the site. That's the best round they've had by far. Much more convincing. Looks like they're confident with it, and maybe that's the way forward. We'll see if they could find a few more. Money absolutely fine for the CT side. Furia all averaging around $8,000 there. Might want to throw in a double AWP setup potentially, just to mix things up. Not going to go for it. Sticking with the Orgs. Makes sense in a map like Mirage. Lots of long-range duels. Heading towards that A set piece once again. JW, control middle. Same sort of situation as before. Watching for the rotations, this time off short and window, covering the connector and making it look like a default at the start of the round, so they won't necessarily preempt this off the bat.
Nade towards main. Okay, already finding Crims, even with the smoke down towards CT as Brolan makes his way in, watches backside. Confident of the smokes. He watched towards Shadow. Gets away with it, covers off, and is actually on top of the ticket, so Abel's got to back up even further. Bomb down, but they don't account for connector. Brolan's position was so well suited to cover off anyone rotating toward the stairs, but Yuri's absolutely shut that down, and no one was in position to trade off of it.
Well, Twist gets him a very valuable kill. That bomb starts to tick away at some pace here. There's one smoke. If they can get that towards A ramp, that would be ideal. Yuri challenges it dry, and he'll be punished for that. Here come the nades, the flashbangs surely to follow up. There's so much damage being applied from Fnatic here. Looks like they might have done enough. Exist certainly seems to think so. Great 3-piece from him. That's going to be 2 players surviving and 2 rounds in a row for Fnatic. All of a sudden, this doesn't look as catastrophic as it was getting. 9-4. Money is actually in a compromised position for Furia. There is a buy there, but it would be hamstrung at best. They would have, oh, they're going for it before I can even finish a sentence. So let's just see how it goes down. The AWP comes out. They've got 2 FAMASs, an AUG, a CZ, no kits, and the A execution could be coming in once again. It's the exact same start to the previous round. Let's see if this works out for them. Very successful before. JW, there's the gap in the smoke we were describing. So obviously a few players know the more detailed smoke. Either way, Crims open things up. It's not the A execution there. They're going in for more of a contact play, trying to surprise the CT. This kill is huge. Surely he'll be traded out, and indeed he will. 3 versus 3. And it's up to AbleJ to try and deny that plant. He's the only one that really can from this position right now.
Luck for Art to try and find the planter in the smoke. We did say don't discount Fnatic when it was 7-2. It's now 9-4, and it may be a 5th. In case CORSAIR finds himself in a 1-on-3. They've woken up to the challenge of this series.
And they've left them with no money for that final round. So 9-6 actually isn't that bad, you know?
Not at all, T-side Mirage.
They've really woken up towards the end. I think they've just stopped running the default. That's obvious. because they were losing that mid battle every single time, right?
I mean, it's not the first time I've seen Fnatic. There's a couple other teams that have done this as well, but they just get so set on their ways, they forget there's other options
but at
on
least
Mirage.
It wasn't too late, right?
Sure.
They've adjusted it, and they've brought back a 9-6 from a 9-2. So they've gone with those A executions, they've gone with those set pieces, and it really has worked out for them. So I respect it. Sure, was a really slow start to the game, but now there's enough here to consider them getting right back into this. Remember, it's their pick, so their CD side you'd expect after this resurgence would be a little bit stronger than the start of their T side. Furia have looked great, but this last round will be very difficult for them. They'll take a tactical timeout just to discuss their options. They've saved an AK-47. That's in the hands of Yuri, and we've seen how destructive he's been towards that mid position, but Fnatic just aren't giving them the opportunities anymore. So good adjustments made by the Swedes. 2 UMPs, 1 MP9. The M4 for Vinny. They have got a kit. Okay utility. They've got the 4 smokes. Art has nothing. So will we see another little gambit towards middle, potentially just trying to get that first pick, considering they don't really have the firepower to hold off another execution here. If you're Fnatic now, you've shown 2 rounds in a row towards A. Do you go for a B execution now? Do you just mix it up completely? They're sending 5 players towards the B side of the map. Looks like a B split to me right now, but the bomb is still down towards T-Sport. We'll see how they end up. Yeah, B split looking likely. No presence towards that ramp or palace. They're going to try and get up towards shore.
Watch the M4 and AK. Yuri and the AK especially. Yuri slides across. Okay, Serato just checking, and he will be welcoming quite a few this time. We haven't seen a lot of action from him. We haven't needed to. Now he's aware. He'll fall back in. He's got the MP9 again, so fittingly. That's how he started the half, unaware this time that Brolan actually got through the window as he was rotating back. Couldn't hear it because of his own footsteps, perhaps. Not to mention all of the utility. Look at the 2 smokes at the arch. Vinny stuck inside of them, firing, almost pre-firing at that to find Exist emerging beyond. And it's the bomb down. Vinny to hold the arch and wait for his teammates to arrive, but already one down behind him. Just got the angle on the AWP. Vinny's there. They're both waiting for Art to get inside of the window, and it doesn't even matter that he did. 9-6 indeed. We're going to send it over to Frankie for some halftime insight. No Frankie.
No Frankie.
They've got a big note on the paper in front of me. Look, I told you put me off the sidewalk. Make it easy for me at least.
Well, that was a nice try. Do we have a break? Okay, well, forget what Matt just said. We're going to a lovely quick break,
paper,
and we're back with the second half.
Well, I this time can confirm that it is going to come back to the game, Henry. That one's obvious. We can figure it out on our own. It's 9-6, still in favor of Furia. I say still because it was 9-2, so Fnatic is on the move.
I would say pound for pound, Furia look like the better players right now, individually, and it was just nice adjustments from Fnatic towards the end. They realized they had to use brains, not brawn at that point, as we head in towards middle.
Look at the kill totals, though. JW leads the way on 12. There's no one else over double digits. On the other side, you get players around 18, 14. It just goes to show you the rounds that Furia were winning, and even the ones Fnatic were closely contested. Fnatic just squeaked in a few, and were not even in it when they were winning.
Yeah, they managed to snowball.
When Furia was winning, that is. Yeah. You know what I mean? It just they only showed up at the end.
Sure. Well, it's the opening pick now for Fnatic. That's from the mid window, but serious damage done towards JW and Brolan. The latter actually residing in CT spawn right now, very defensive, understandably so. He's got 2 players behind him. So Fnatic convinced this is an A attack, and they would be 100% correct. Here we go. Need to hit some nice shots here.
Twist. Downed by Vinny. Edge of the smoke as well. Silenced USP, didn't even matter. They were able to figure out exactly where he was on the sound alone as Vinny wants more. Back towards DT, he's going to get more. Brolan peeks out, he's low HP. That gives Crims a chance for the trade, but Yuri's got him down. Not before JW found Case Serato. Fairly level, but Yuri is showing off some form yet again. 2 more for him, and JW might know where he is, but all he's serving to do is bait out the time, and JW does have a kit, but not the armor, and he's on 28 already. It's a fair fight. Yuri does it on his own.
It was looking so good for Fnatic, but those low HP players a little bit too tentative towards spawn. They allowed the bomb to go down, and Furia setting up with some lovely post-plant positions. Scrappy as ever, looking to take those jewels. It'll be Yuri to get 3 kills in total as he fights to the very end, protecting that bomb. His teammates could just sit back and wait while he did all the heavy lifting. No force buy here from Fnatic, but there is a scout. Interesting. He'd normally bring that out. His teammates at least have P250s. This is the first shot. It's a little bit of damage himself. I love this from Furia. Very fast-paced. He's getting in towards that B site. It's completely open. Maybe getting a bit of a read on the tendencies of Fnatic, what they like to do on their full ecos. A lot of teams stack B these days. That's why Fnatic probably trying to change things up. They'll stack 5 players at A. Not going to get any action, though. There is one player waiting towards Palace. This could be Vinny. He's going to try and look for any rotations, but CT's have already pushed middle. They're aware of the B-side attack now. No real reason to hunt, but the MAC-10s might want to get stuck in, farm some cash. As they get that bomb planted, that's round done. It's going to be 11-6. Fnatic going to buy up next round. JW wants to save that scout, actually. He invested a lot. He can get armor next round. Teammates can get some rifles out. But it'll be a difficult round. Furia keep that pace up, especially those MAC-10s. Could be problematic, depending on whether they get helmets or not. I would say, considering the amount of MAC-10s they've probably had, they'd probably go for the helmets instead. We'll see. Oh, Vinny. He's got right behind him. I love this.
You do? Oh,
wow.
Love that he got the AK out in time, too, don't you? Jeez. Furia get the 11th round on the board, so Fnatic stalled for the moment. Held captive to the economy.
That was really well played. That's extra cash injection on the T side now. They will keep their MAC-10s. We'll have a look at the helmet situation as it comes through. Crims and Brolan, no helmets. Same story for Exist. 3 players, incredibly vulnerable to the SMGs here. And you would expect a fast-paced round from Furia, just to that fact. Just to see what they can do. Throw caution to the wind. Straight up there. That's the helmet for you, Matt. Oh, it gets 2! That is absolutely beautiful. Exactly what I wanted to see from them. And they're going to commit to this B push. It's up to Twist now. He has to defend. He needs at least one more kill. Not going to get it. That's got to be a save. The scouts or combo not going to be able to do anything about this. And that's a perfect call from Furia.
How fast was that?
That's what you want. I always beg for that when teams have this setup. We never really get it. That's the sort of round you want to just put out there. See what you can do. It's a bit of a throwaway round. If it doesn't work out, just aim to get 2 or 3 kills with it. If it goes that well, cost them their life. And we'll see the HE grenade come through. That's going to be enough, and that certainly will be as well. It's CORSAIR to get a big play towards the end. Fnatic, that would have been such a massive opportunity for them to get back into it and steal around away. It comes right down to the 1 versus 1, doesn't happen. Vinny, 23 kills, by the way. Not one of the bigger names within the team, and he's putting on a bit of a clinic here. We'll see him head towards middle of the boys. It's going to be JW on the AWP though. Watching towards middle, hits the shot. Oh, it goes down at 38, but no frag found, of course. Control. The objective for Furia this round as Art looks towards a connector for JW to rotate round. It's actually going to be Crims, an iconic position for him.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. The last remaining iconic position. He no longer plays in B on Inferno.
Yeah, right. Him and Olaf used to be the tag team duo. So strong, but different times.
He plays over toward the arch now.
The execution going to be the final finish here. We have got Art with the AWP towards B. He'll be going for that long play, Matt. He'll be looking for the connector plant, and as they get it, he'll be jumping out the B palace, or B apartment, I should say, towards short and try and defend the bomb. So he'll go for a long backstab here and hope he can just clutch out the round from short. We see it all the time. Can be very powerful and it's not considered. This is also looking good for Brolan. He's had a quiet game, only good for the one though.
Yeah, he shut down immediately by Vinny. Bomb might have been dropped temporarily, but they're just going to march across that and pick it up as they continue to enter the site. Art and Vinny are both tagged considerably. Fnatic have a chance. Oh, the lineup as well. They just barely got the bomb down. Not denied. Crims was almost unlucky not to get Vinny in the block from Abel J standing in front is ultimately the reason why, although it nearly cost them both lives.
Here's the push, but there's a... Okay, so he's lined it up already.
Smart.
He needs to, because they're going to smoke that bomb any second. So he needs to be ready for that.
Saw the elbow.
There's the smoke. He needs to get it lined up now. And now he just has to take pop shots for the best. It's not going to work out for him. Low HP, nice idea. Didn't work out for them. The smoke just makes it redundant. So good play, nice approach, but Furia will not be able to fend off Fnatic anyway whatsoever as we four them surviving the first real clean round they've had in the second half.
And credit Crims for a lot of that, was able to counter off the op. Art played that so well, they knew what the op was waiting for. They knew why he was already over toward Cat. This was so close for Crims as well. The turnaround follows it up, finally gets the man he did all the damage to. And they win out their first round on the CT side, 13-7, 20 rounds done. And a timeout called.
Well, we'll have a look at their financial situation. Should be absolutely fine considering they have won 4 rounds in a row convincingly. 13-7 on Fnatic's pick in their favor. Nuke next. Like I said, we haven't seen too much from this tournament so far. Just the one win against NRG on Overpass. Looking very good on Mirage. God knows what they have in store for us on Nuke. I think I checked out their stats before we went into the game. Their Nuke, I think, has a 100% win ratio in the last 3 months. And it does. They actually do. So Fnatic 45% and Fury have 100% on Nuke. So they still didn't wrap a Mirage away. This could be a victory for them. Opening pick coming through with the AWP. And this is looking good for another round on the board here. It's up to JW. Needs to hit a couple more of those. First shot comes in, but overwhelmed by the flashbangs. It will be Vinny to apply the pressure towards CT score.
Backside of the garbage deposit. Only good for 1 kill. Take that back, so excuse me, 2-2 trade, so only 1 advantage as Twist has to sit all the way off toward the stairs, and they'll run down. The Molotov on the bomb that early, it's still going to give a chance, but there's a second one. CORSAIR has it. Even with the smoke down, CORSAIR could get that in unless he got all the defuse right now, Twist. And he does not have the goal to try and do so. He wraps around. Second Molotov, even if they can't find it, should be thrown any second. They're so worried about the smoke, and they're still peeking. Little do they know there's a gap behind it. Twist has to get away 1 HP, and in fact, I think he just gets far enough to survive from the bomb. No, he doesn't. He's gone down, 14-7, and 2 to go for Furia.
Oh my goodness. I thought he had enough of the lineup there. That would have been disastrous for Furia to give up, but they hold on. Execution towards A. Looking like a very popular strategy here. And the stats I just read out, it really doesn't bode well for Fnatic going to that second map. Furia are looking so damn good right now. Opening picks from R to the AWP, no problem at all. Fnatic will buy what they can. There's enough. 1 player will be down to a Deagle. Brodan on the FAMAS, and JW with the first pick. He's got that sniper. This time, no trade. Art's looking to return the favor.
Serrato trying to fire down toward the van. Exist aware of that. Vinny backs out of Palace, so they're already giving up any presence on the A side of the map. Do love that Martini livery.
The what, sorry?
Like Martini racing stripes.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Takes me back
to
being a small boy in 1974 at Le Mans.
Your first race.
Smell of petrol, burning rubber, brake discs on fire.
Can't beat it.
Can't really, actually. It's true. Smell of a good track day. Able J waiting to work back out, trying to make up for this one-man loss early on. And B is it. B's the hit. That was evident from the time they left Palace. Set smokes the play. Exist could be limited. Arch smokes have certainly been in the arsenal already. Twist will wait behind the broken wall at jail. Smoked in already. Exist actually pushes back in, doesn't want to wait behind this smokes. That actually means he's forward of the player flanking in from the connector, from Catwalk as well. 6 seconds, they can't plant. Not gonna happen. Twist already shuts them down, and if they go for it at this point, they're done. CORSAIR doesn't have the bomb, just needs to survive, and I don't think they're aware he's in behind the van, so he should be just fine.
Fnatic down, but not out. 14-8, we've seen some crazy comebacks at this tournament so far. Can they pull off another one? Money broken for Furia, so they won't be able to close this out just yet. Fnatic gunning for double digits, then we can really start having the conversation about this comeback. It's their map pick, they're on City side, and actually Furia have invested substantially into this. They're actually all in. A last-second decision there to try and close out the game. 2 players have our helmets right now. These CZs, the MAC-10s, could have some impact here, going for more of a surprise approach here. The contact play, dropping the smokes after they've already committed, as they try and push back Brolan, who's in a strong position in CT spawn. He's gunning for at least a couple of kills in the looks of things. This is down an 8 damage towards Tetris.
Crims still waiting desperately, and the smoke is unaware that they've gone by. In fact, has to give up the spot. Fall back inside of the arch and Twist. He'll want to get back out as fast as possible. Good name softens them up, but still the headshot from Finny. That's when Exist comes back out to play, and play he does. If you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band.
I've always said that.
It's a great song at hockey games. Able J waiting towards Sandwich. Bomb down bench, so they've got to push to the wall. And that's covered off by Crims.
No way.
Broland gone though. Art actually gets him through ticket. That's going to force JW to get a little more aggressive. But Crims knows. He hears 2. He knows they're both there. He knows where the bomb was. He knows where it is. It's in the hands of Able J. But where is he gone as he falls off with 26 seconds? Low HP, low enough. Oh. JW will do it with a pistol.
That's confidence towards the end. Some good communication there in terms of the dink being delivered. And it will be Furia, the force buy, unable to get the plant. So they should be eco now. Came pretty close there, to be fair. The wall bang towards Ticket Booth certainly enabled them to win the round, but couldn't close it out. Nice backstab from Crims, managing to suffocate the final player there. Deagles, oh, I say Deagles, just the one actually, singular. Couple of flashes, B rush, flash over, hope for the best. Very unlikely that they do anything with this, waiting for the initial utility, the grenades especially. Double flash in, hope for the best. Could work out, I suppose. It'll take something absolutely marvelous at this point. There's the first flash, here comes the second. In they go, they're going to take so much damage from that grenade. Boom! About 200 damage, as Exist is looking for the ace. Not going to get it though.
Twist just says he doesn't care. He wants to win.
Exactly. Well, there's the double digits. That's what we're looking for, Fnatic. 6 more. Where that came from, they'll actually go for the reverse sweep. They were 9-2 down, remember. Furia starting to slow down on their T side. This round looks very slow-paced. Crims, a little bit of presence towards middle, throws the HEs, but no one there to receive them. A split looking likely. He's going to be a bit of a throwaway player. He's just going to run in and see if he can get the frag. Not going to happen. Twist takes care of him as his teammates get ready to puncture the A-bomb side, but have they done enough? Have the rotations been significant? They've actually got through towards Sandwich. This could be something.
Crims takes down Vinny. That's a good start despite the bomb plant. JW too fast for his own good. Flick was in the right direction. The shot came a little bit too soon. Wasn't on the target. As Able J will wait and watch towards CT, where in which there will certainly be a battle too easy, it seems. JW walked out slowly, the headshot received. Twist gets the only kill from the CT side, and Furia get map points.
They know how significant that round is. They pull it back from the dead. So they send one player towards B, ultimately did nothing. It was quite obvious what they were up to. Just some fantastic shots in the post-plant situation. At least it enabled them to get the bomb down. The CTs were very passive towards A after that B showing. enables them to get towards the site, decent positions. They went out with those Kriegs. They seem to be one of the few teams that have mastered the scoped weapon on the T side. You don't see many teams use it. A lot of pros are speculated, or a few, I should say, that the Krieg, it just needs to be unlocked. Someone needs to show us how powerful it can be, and it will start to be as popular as the Orc potentially. Furia certainly making a strong case for that. Orb in the hands of CORSAIR after this round. There was a timeout. They want to close it out right here, right now. Money is a bit of an issue for Fnatic. Crims with the scout. Brought down with the FAMAS there. No kits. Only 2 incendiaries. JW has got the Orb though, and he's been pretty efficient with finding those opening kills. Can he keep it up though? No more mistakes can be made. Fnatic 1 round away from dropping their map pick.
Smoke to the window. It's going to limit Crims yet again. Crims with a pistol. Knows they're going to run in. Oh, he's blinded. And Art uses that to his advantage. Gets around the corner. And now, not only that, he's pushed the vent, he's pushed the checker room. He's fired super early to the door, to be fair. That actually comes out to his detriment, but not before he finds Twist.
Still in this round though, Fnatic have not given it the plant yet. JW, that's the kind of play he's known for. He denies the plant. Exist will bring 1 back from short. 2 versus 2. That kill might decide everything. Brolan left with nothing here. A FAMAS, Kevlar, and a smoke. That is about it. We'll see what he can do with it. As time ticking away, Furia will still have the opportunity to get the bomb down. They want to make sure they're completely covered though. They have 1 smoke available for the window. They're just trying to suggest they might have gone back towards A at this point. Use the time.
You might as well. Brolan not with much to work with. Smoke down, has to go through it. No kit. Smoke of his own though, and it may not even come to a defuse because Brolan gets both.
How has he done that? It looked like that round was out of reach for sure. They had no chance there. They've broken the back of Furia once again. That could have been it, but Brolan keeps them in the game. He's been almost non-existent in this map of Mirage, but starting to come to life now in the latter stages of the second half. He's got 11 and 19 right now. That's a huge one. They take this to overtime. They've got him to thank. Has to be the eco for Furia. But plenty of overtimes there this event too, as they set up towards middle once again. Out for the MAC-10. Great success there before. Does get the dink. Not quite enough though. He gets that first kill. They were actually in a lot of trouble, but the HE very effective. Looks like Fnatic have got this one under control. No issue whatsoever. And we will see a clean sweep. 15-12. 3 more for overtime.
3 more for overtime. You said we've seen some comebacks already in this event. Well, might be witnessing yet another here. But what does Furia come up with in response?
They have got the Kriegs again, but this is bare bones in terms of the initial approach. They'll only have a couple of smokes left, a couple of flashes. They're working with almost nothing here. They'll boost up towards the window. No one there to stop them right now, so this is looking pretty decent. Ah, that's a brave move.
Very.
He just pushes through that smoke like it's no problem in the world.
He's a madman this game. Think of the 2 pushes he did on Catwalk as well, and he's got position once more. Able J, he might have gone down early, but Art has position on Exist. He never would have expected him.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't see that coming at all. Furia certainly have done their homework here. CORSAIR waiting the B apartments. They know there's a player still towards the kitchen. That's Art still. Trying to make things uncomfortable for Twist, but he rises to the occasion. He now sits towards the van. They've got no idea. He has done amazing work here. It looked like that push towards kitchen was enough. Still might be 3 versus 2. Bomb to go down. Needs protection though. Is he committed to the plan? He has. At least there's money there with a lost bonus now, but they can still finish it right here, right now.
Wants back around the corner. He got the round on 11 that got them started, but Vinny already shutting him down. 2 Kriegs, just to note, not often you see multiple of those, and yet they're making it work. Crims to a 1-on-1, and this to survive, this to try and continue to force the overtime, and Vinny has the advantage. He has the high ground. Crims waiting to try and bait him back out, but it's too little too late.
He's done it.
And it is the map to Furia. Despite dying, they're winning.
Yeah, really love that point about the Kriegs. You're going to see more teams go for that weapon. They look like they're absolutely deadly with that one. It's wonderful to see how efficient it's looking. They really have mastered the weapon. This could be something to talk about going forward in the tournament. That is the pickup of Fnatic going in favor of Furia. And remember, it is Furia going into Nuke, who have a 100% win record in the last 3 months. They've played it 15 times. Sure, it'll be against lesser opposition.
They're going for Astralis' record.
They absolutely might be.
Or Nip's record, because it's still Nip's record.
I'm worried. If you're a Fnatic fan right now, 2-0 all over this at this point.
Yeah, no, I can absolutely see it.
They've only played it 11 times, and they've only won 45% of those on the Fnatic side, so they're not as well versed. This is a specialist pick, and something that could come back and haunt them.
5 and 6 is what that means.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Nice, quick math.
Thank you. I've also learned how to peel a banana in a new way during that game. But
that's impressive.
We're going to send it to a break and then over to the desk.